Wise man once said, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. It's so hard to say goodbye. Part 5. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for our continuing saga, a video series we call It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, and we're up to part 5. Previously we had Ghostbuster plasma figures, we've had Titantron figures, we've had the Bendham collection I had, we've had a few things we've given up over the years, and it's always tough to say goodbye. That's why it's so hard to say goodbye, but it's always tough because at one time or another, whatever it is you're saying goodbye to, there was a time you said hello to, and you said, oh, this is going to be in my collection forever. I needed these. I'm so excited to have these, and so forth and so forth, and I'm no different. We've all been there. We've all had parts where we're not feeling something, or there's been parts where, hey, I need the money. I'm out of money. I got to sell something to make some money. Maybe I'm somewhere in between right now. I'm working on a project. We'll just call it a project at this point. And I said, what stuff do I have laying around that I really don't need to offset this project? And I had to dig deep. I went through, some of you guys maybe have seen on my social medias and stuff like that. I was selling a few things the last few weeks. Going through my closet, my doubles, when we were building that Jack's Ruthless Aggression channel on the collection for a long, long time, every once in a while you'd have a double or a duplicate that was a part of a lot you were buying. You stick it in a tote, and then all of a sudden you got 50 loose figures you don't need anything to do with. So cleaning up some of that stuff out there, but there are a few heavy hitter items I decided, you know what, it's time to get rid of. And I said, no better time to get rid of these, but we better do a video. We better say goodbye, cherish our final memories with this. And this is not action figure related. You guys know I'm a Renaissance man out there. I love action figures. I love Jeeps, of course. I love heavy metal. I love music. I love digital or physical media, I should say. I'm a Renaissance man. I'm a man of many collections. Probably the best heavy metal t-shirt collection, at least in the Midwest, we'll call it. At least in the Midwest. But I got a lot of collections out there. And it said, you know what, it's time to say goodbye to one of these. I'm 100% complete as of right now. I won't be once I do sell these, unfortunately. And there's a new one on the horizons here. And I said, now's the time to probably get out. And I'll explain it as we go through it. But the first thing, we got about 4 things I'm going to show you today. But it's hard to say goodbye. Metallica, one of the godfathers of heavy metal. Not my godfathers. I always say, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Motorhead. That's my 4. That's my Mount Rushmore. But Metallica, there's a lot of people that are going to put them at the top of the house. I understand why. But for me, I like the older bands. But I do love Metallica. I really do love Metallica. I cut my teeth in Justice for All, is where I came into my Metallica fandom. Easily went back, and Kill 'Em All to this day is still my favorite Metallica album of all time. I absolutely love it. If you've never heard in Kill 'Em All, you better check that one out. It is next level. Dave Mustaine wrote a lot of the songs on there from Megadeth fame, of course. I don't need to give you guys a history lesson on Metallica, but I did say, you know what, it's time to clear out the closet, time to get rid of some of these box sets. As you guys know, music fans are passionate. I'm no different. I am very passionate. I bought this box set right when it came out, as I always do. Pre-order, was very excited for it, but I can tell you how many times I played it. Yeah, once. I got the CDs, I ripped them into my hard drives. I have 3 different hard drives of my collection all stored into, and then you get them via Amazon Music as well if you purchase through there. And that's the only time I've been there. I went through the book. These are nice. These are next level box sets. I strongly recommend them. If you're a box set collector, definitely strongly recommend it here. There's books, there's a ton of CDs, DVDs, pics, pictures, you name it, set lists, all kinds of stuff in these that just bring them to the next level. They are awesome, but they are spendy, and they do climb in value, as a lot of things do. These things are limited print. They don't make millions of these. You can't buy these at your local Walmart and Target store. Basically, Amazon, Metallica's website, that's about the only place you can buy these box sets. So they are extremely rare. Once they're out of print forever. And you can imagine with a band like Metallica that has such a rabid fan base, people want these. Maybe they couldn't afford them. Maybe they didn't know about them at the time. Secondary market is absolutely crazy on these. Some more than others, as you can imagine. Kill 'Em All, not as crazy as, let's say, Master of Puppets or something like that. But Kill 'Em All, the first Metallica album. But I said, you know what? These are sitting on a bookshelf. what am I really doing with these? I listen to them every once in a while via my digital. Like I said, I have it all backed up. I'm mowing the yard. I'm in my vehicle traveling. I've mentioned before, my company car that I have, unfortunately, does not have a CD player. It just seems like the craziest times, and it's a company car. I can't modify it. I can't change the radio and all that in it. So I do the digital streaming. I've been against it from day one. I hate not using physical media, and I'm a big proponent. I would never buy just a digital release. Buy the CD, rip it into digital, and then sell the CD, get your money back, or at least get some money back. That's what my advice always is to people, but there's a lot of people who say, oh, let's buy it digital. I get it. It's just crazy. But I prefer hard copy music, of course, but times are changing. And I know people out there say, Kyle, you can get a CD player, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I can, but the thing is, I got all these Bluetooth speakers throughout the house. I can just, bam, hit my phone, hit my iPod, whatever you want to call it. I can hit it and start playing music immediately. I don't have to chase down, put it in. Yes, you can put CDs in DVD players. That does work. You can play it through the TV. I understand it all. But this box set, I just don't break it out. I don't get the CDs out. I don't put them in anywhere. I said, you know what? This is just really money sitting there. And I always tell about my CD collection. It worries me because all of a sudden I die. Let's say I die of a heart attack tomorrow. What happens to my CD collection? You know, we're getting morbid here. We're getting deep. We're getting deep on the channel. But what happens to that collection? And I am a hardcore music fan. Metallica is not hardcore heavy metal. Everybody knows who Metallica is. You ask my grandpa and grandma who Metallica is. They know who Metallica is. But you go into some deep, deep things. You know, you go into the Running Wilds of the world. And that's not even that deep for heavy metal fans. There's tons and tons of bands. I have some CDs that were heavy, heavy dollar CDs. Well, if I drop dead tomorrow, guess what? My wife's taking them to half-price books. That's what's going to happen, unfortunately. And I can see somebody saying, well, what happens if you drop dead with all your action figures? Oh, I got a backup plan for that. I got our old pal, David C. Anderson. He's going to help me out with that. We've already made a blood pact. We cut our fingers, put it together. There's a blood pact there. But my wife knows at least enough to be dangerous on action figures. How could she not? She's around me all the time. And then you got my dad. If, you know, my dad, he'll probably outlive me. So I got him. He is another one. So I got enough help on the figure department to be able to figure that all out. Some contacts where to go to and all that kind of stuff. Heavy metal, not so much. I'm sure I could get some people. But I said, you know what? Now is the time, especially during COVID. Money was through the roof, or I should say CD sales were through the roof, especially deep collectors one. Just like action figures, we talk about it on the channel all the time. People were going crazy buying expensive action figures, getting back into it. No different than physical media, vinyl of course, but CDs as well in these kind of box sets. Long-winded story, I get it. But I am selling my Metallica box set collection. I just don't get the use out of it. Somebody else can enjoy it more than me instead of just having it in our formal living room, sitting on a bookshelf for nobody to see or play. I have them all backed up in 3 different spots, plus in my Amazon Music. I don't think I'm in need. And once again, there's like 10 CDs in each one of these box sets. A lot of them are demos and live shows that you just don't listen to. You listen to them once, maybe twice at most, then never again. I figured, hey, now's the time. I'm going to take all this money from this, put this towards a special project. So more to come on the channel. You stay tuned for that. But there's Kill 'Em All, and I'm going to stand by it. The greatest Metallica album of all time. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments. What is the greatest Metallica album of all time? I got a feeling we're going to hear a lot of Masters of Puppets. We might hear some Black Album talk. Black Album broke little Kyle's heart. I just didn't get it as a kid. Enter Sandman I absolutely loved from the get-go. The rest of the stuff, I wanted more. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. That's what I wanted on Metallica. I didn't get that with the Black Album. It was a tough, tough time. I didn't mind Load and Reload. They were okay. Saint Anger totally lost me. I was totally lost with Saint Anger. I thought that was absolutely horrible. I still think that's their worst album. But then the later albums, the last 2 or 3 have been amazing. So I'm all in on those. Hopefully Metallica's at a true back to form. So there you go. But Kill 'Em All we talked about. What comes next? You guys know. If you love Metallica, you know Ride the Lightning. Same principles as Kill 'Em All. Deluxe, big box set. Beautiful set, like I said. A lot to love about these. Absolutely love them. They're limited edition. 4,383 of 30,000. 30,000 of this one there. So there's Ride the Lightning. Now we get to a lot of people's favorite of all time and the most valuable one. This is a heavy, I mean, this thing clocks in on eBay sales almost around $1,000 pre-owned. And all these are like new. I keep my stuff magically in good shape, as you guys know. I don't rough them up and any of that kind of stuff. So these are practically like new, but yeah, about $1,000 for just this Master of Puppets. And I always say, we don't talk a lot of investing. Every once in a while we do on the channel about action figures. We talk investing. I tell you, box sets like this is an amazing investment. There's Paul McCartney box sets. I have all those so far. I might sell those too. A lot of that kind of correlates with this. We'll see what happens. But those Paul McCartney box sets, there's so many fancy box sets out there that are very high value, high dollar. I recommend, if you're looking to invest in fun stuff like music instead of your 401k for whatever reason, I'd go 401k first if I was you, but if you got extra money, invest in stuff like this, because these things go up and up and up. And like I said, this one's right around $1,000, where it was about 200. I think it was 200 was the cheapest it went on Amazon, and they always give you the cheapest price. So that's Master of Puppets. And I do have the book that went along that was released at the exact same time, so I'm going to sell this one right there. So gotta combine those together. I just feel like they should go together. It just makes sense for me. And then the final one, the heaviest one, the biggest one, holy cow, and Justice for All. This is a massive, massive box set, very thick, tons of stuff. This is the biggest one yet. As we all know, the Black album is coming out in September. I'm not going to pick that up. Like I said, my thoughts on the Black album. But that one is going to be jam-packed with like 14 CDs, I think, posters, pictures, all the books, all that kind of stuff in there. So a lot to come with And Justice for All, and then the Black album coming in September. So there it is. It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, Part 5. It does break my heart to sell these a little bit, but I know I'll get them to a good home. Be a lot of money. I will make a lot of money on these from what I originally paid for them. I do have them all backed up, so I can listen to them anytime I want. It's just not the same. I understand the physical media thing, but I don't have a place. The car is really the only place I listen to music at long lengths, as I do travel for work. Unfortunately, I do not have a CD player, so there's really nothing I could do about that. So it is what it is. It's so hard to say goodbye. It always is hard to say goodbye, but it's time to say goodbye to Metallica. So you guys in the comments, tell me, what have you had to say goodbye to lately? Have you gotten rid of anything? Have you dumped anything in your collection? Have you dumped your Ghostbusters Plasma series yet? You tell me in the comments, and tell me about a hard time where you had to let go of something. Let me know. We've all been there over the years, that's for sure. And then don't forget to like the video, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Help support the channel. You know, all that kind of fun stuff. We're dangerously close to 8,000 subscribers. We might even be over it at that point. I can't even remember where we're at. So there you go. But we're getting close. I know we were. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. And for Metallica box sets, this has been It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, Part 5. I'm Kyle. I will see you guys all real soon.